And welcome everybody to Aurora Esports week number 6. We're going to be closing out the week here, and we got a few banger games to do it. We just watched the Fixture Foxians, my team, lose to the Bloomington Bobcats, but I think we got another amazing game on our hands. The Quantico Quails are facing off against the Funkytown Floppas. Now, I'm one of your casters, War. Joined alongside me on the production side of things is WYND, aka Why You Know Dad, aka Why You Know Life, and on the casting desk, Batman, aka Moon. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Had a fun little game between the Foxians and Bobcats. Very well played from you guys. But we got another game ready with the Quails and Floppas. So we'll see what they can accomplish today.
Yeah, and I think both these teams are definitely going to be slightly on the underrated side of things. The Quantico Quails, I know, I was talking a bit on the podcast about how difficult of a schedule they've really ran into. I think they were one of the team out of all the teams in the top 5 that everybody was considering a contender. They were the team that had like on average they were playing like a 7th or 6th seed team overall. So yeah, they're looking pretty good in my opinion. And then you got the Funkytown Floppas, who have had some losses, but they've also had some very dominating wins. I know they beat your team, Moon, the Bobcats, very recently.
Yes. I try to remember what happened in that game, but sometimes it feels like we're the hit or miss team currently. But yeah, I think the Floppas have some really strong some members with just their team in general. So I feel like they're pretty well-rounded team. We might see them show up and show that today.
Yeah, the thing I really like about the Floppas, and I'm big Riddle Dog fan, me personally, but he was very adamant about getting the, 5 players that ended up on his team, in my opinion. And obviously there was some bit of chaos with dropout from Maverick and then Yeet moving on to the team, but very cohesive team and a very good value team. When you're talking about value players, you look at like the Purple Jesus on DPS, Wiggle Higgle, Shoreline Pie, and you're thinking like, yo, these guys are like kind of crazy for their value. Then on the other side of things, Skycer with the Quails developed a really good friend team, incorporating Elko in the mix as well. Elko not going to be able to be here today, Invictus in instead. I'm wondering how that's going to impact their team.
Yeah, I mean, it could change up in terms of the team dynamic. We never know what happens behind the scenes comm-wise, but we're getting started here on Li Zhang Control Center. Let's see what they look to go with first. Looking like a Ram versus JQ comp, but fighting over a white room is going to be the play. See who goes first. Skies are getting dangerously low, though, so could be, it is forced to pop form. So he will be trying to play off of this, but Nort Logic really in there. The ice block actually burned really early, so Root actually goes down. Invictus ends up getting taken down by Shoreline Pie as well. Skyster just trying to get out of the fight and keep himself alive, not stagger too far. But main thing to remember is they still gotta cut the point. But so far, so good for the Floppas.
Yeah, and a very nice fight from them. They obviously showing the aggression that the JQ can provide. They're gonna win this if they make sure the fights don't go long and they're able to just run through, and also be very careful of Rue's wall. Rue obviously putting in a good wall there, splitting off Nort from the rest of the team, forcing him to back up towards White Room and allowing Skyster to get a bit of point presence, but not a cap just yet. Gonna leave off at around half as Nort's playing this really cheeky angle around the point. Also, Paradox did make the swap over onto the Brig, trying to sustain the backline a little bit. The Brig Juno is probably the best at keeping the individuals of the team alive. And as this fight's breaking out here, no picks just yet.
Well, it might actually be Paradox that goes down first. Oh, he's going to be able to survive, but it is going to be the JQ ult that comes out. Victus ends up falling. Paradox falls, Rue falls, and the orbital from Sekana is just not enough to be able to accomplish anything. Skyster, though, trying to accomplish anything with this annihilation. Might be able to get Shoreline. Okay, he does get Shoreline here. Nort Logic, though, pop shout. Going to be looking for Sekana, but Sekana on the Juno able to run away. Play coast with orbital. Wiggle Higgle, though, with the rally, looking to find anything. Still, the Floppas with control of the point here, so they just have time to burn. Skyster actually gets trapped, so he might actually be dead to this orbital. Oh, he's just barely going to be able to survive. The blizzard comes out from Rue, but there's no one to be found in it. And still Floppas with the point control. Skyster though, forced to pop his form, trying to get Nort Logic. Ooh, really good wall. Nort Logic might actually go down. This is gonna be the tire for Purple Jesus. Can it find anyone on this? Oh, it gets shot. So he's still able. There's finally getting the point flip. Both tanks dead so far, but it looks like Nort Logic's actually gonna be the first one to come back. But still, a little bit of a stalemate here.
Very close to overalting
Invictus just off the bat.
teams. Yup. That's
Paradox,
crazy.
though,
Nice poop
with the
wiggle.
rally. Still controlling this point here. Nort Logic though gonna be looking to find him. He gets stunned, so he doesn't actually get the swing off. So he's gonna be forced away, but not in danger just yet. So he should be fine. The nice wall from Ryu though. Again, not able to find anything off of it just yet. Might have almost caused him to inch off of that one, but the Blizzard, their Ice Block is gonna save him. Invictus though with the orbital as Seikana pulls, or Seikana with the orbital, Invictus with the overclock. My mistake. But two ults gonna clean up this fight, and looks like the Quails will be trying to tick their point towards the end.
Yeah, but I feel like there's still like a bit of overalting from the side of the Quails. I mean, the ult advantage has like drastically shifted in favor of the Floppas. Shoreline Pie coming up on that overclock as well as the other DPS ult. And Shoreline Pie also catches his, I guess, enemy in Invictus there on the point. Now, Nort Logic trying to get aggressive from that high ground position. They've been using the White Room control so well throughout this map, but Paradox actually manages to go into that response with the Juno ult from Riddle Dog. They're trying to fight through it, but it's a nice Blizzard from Brew to help dominate the point, put down so much pressure onto Nort Logic. He's eventually going to explode out and up. And now Wiggle has to escape with his life. Invictus is kind of slide in, clean up these kills. Another great wall from Rue there to really just punish in. And it feels like the Quails have really synced up together as a team. They're playing off the walls and they're playing very aggressive. A tire coming in to touch. But the question is, will it do enough?
Probably won't be doing much here, but I mean, well, I say maybe you spoke a little too soon. Skyster goes down to the tower, but it's just up to Nort Logic on the point. But unfortunately, Junker Queen into rally without an ult is not going to be very great outcome. Wiggle Higgle trying to accomplish something with his rally on point, able to survive as long as he can. Gets a stun on Brew, but again, his HP just too low to do anything. Shoreline swinging his way through. Might be able to get his one, but he's going to go down, and that will be round one for the Quails.
Yeah, I think the Quails have definitely warmed up to whether it be having Invictus on the team or just like the first map jitters, you know, and they're definitely kind of feeling it now. I was noticing early in the maps they were hitting some nice walls, but they weren't really able to capitalize on them. The JQ has much less sustainability than the Ramatra, so if you hit the good wall into Nort Logic, he just explodes. And even like through the Juno healing, who can like jump over the wall, you can still do a ton of damage to that. But on Garden, we're gonna see kind of a complete compositional swap. We'll have to see if the Floppas are also gonna look to go over onto the D.Va. So maybe Nort gonna have a little bit more success on the D.Va matchup into the Winston.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something to be looking at. But notably, right now, Shoreline is gonna stick with the Sojourn here. Sojourn D.Va could be an interesting play, but it is Rue with the Venture trying to make their way through. But again, nothing just yet. Trading some cooldowns. Speed ring out. Maybe could be finding someone off of this, but it's gonna be the Floppas trying to back away in this though. Rue really deep in there, gonna be able to get away. Shoreline Pie though is gonna go down to Skyster, just not enough HP, and so the Floppas will fall one by one as the point is finally capped, and Quails get a very strong foothold onto this point to start.
Yeah, and a couple stagger kills to follow. That fight really just determined by the angles that Rune and Invictus were able to put. They've really forced the rest of the Floppas back into that White Room, and it feels like D.Va's has so much DM in this meta right now, but they managed to just like burn it out by focusing from multiple angles. Now Invictus 75 to Pulse. Definitely gonna be looking for that in this upcoming fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be the first thing to see, but unfortunately, it's not going to be something we're going to be looking at just yet, as Purple Jesus does take him out, and it is going to be a little bit of a Tracer gap potentially. Skyster, though, it does go down to Shoreline, so looking like the Floppas are going to take care of this point, but Quails trying to survive as long as possible. Paradox goes down, Rue goes down, and Seikana will live to fight another day.
Yeah, very nice fight there from the Floppas. They managed to get point, and they also held on to every single one of their ultimates in that fight. Now, Purple Jesus looking for the off angle with this pulse bomb here. Has a few options for targets, but a lot of them very difficult to hit, so we'll see who he actually decides to go on. And look at all the pressure. They're focusing towards the middle, and the pulse is actually going to connect to Purple Jesus. Really good distraction, but Invictus manages to get the trade, making this a 4v4 fight.
Oh, but Invictus gets a pulse on a Riddle, and not really gonna accomplish anything for this fight so far. But it is Riddle Dog with the orbital use, so Sekana will come back with orbital here. So looking like the Quails are in a decent spot ult economy wise. About 2 ults to 2 so far. Wiggle Higgle though, close to that rally, could be looking to find it, but it's gonna be Sekana who pops orbital here to really show who's boss on that Juno. Riddle Dog unfortunately goes down as Skycer is going crazy with the monkey. Does not die to the bomb just yet. He is able to find 2. Tries to look for a 3rd, but we get the point. They get the point cap instead. They're gonna say, yep, we'll just take this and back away. Let them play their space. But Floppas not out of this yet. We could be seeing an either overclock or rally push here. 2 rallies on the board. Could be interesting to see which one makes the first mistake into it though. But it's gonna be Rue with excavation, trying to find something. He does find Riddle Dog off this one. Wiggle trying to pop rally to work for this one. Shoreline though looking for something on the overclock, but not really much in his view just yet. Rue goes down to Wiggle as the rally does time out. Paradox is gonna respond here. Skycer able to maybe just barely get his way out. Okay, Skycer will live so far, but it's gonna be Paradox really holding him down this white room area with rally, but Skycer finally goes down. Looking like, oh, Riddle falls off the map. Okay, I don't know what happened with that one, but Invictus gets the double pulse bomb, and now it's not over yet though. Purple Jesus gets his one with pulse, and maybe able to find anything. Oh, we got a DC, that's why.
Wait, that was actually kind of crazy. Invictus found 2, and then Shoreline Pie found 2 with that rail shot, and then equal trades both ways. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really scrappy fight. I like the idea of the Quails to go early with their tongue shock there, but I feel like the team just wasn't there to support him. I felt like they were like diving a cluster of people, and it was just Rue standing up there, and the Juno heals and the Brig heals, they don't really come up fast enough to like sustain through White Room there. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens when Riddle comes back. You'd think that this is kind of one for the Quails at this point in time, due to the unfortunate DC, obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, HP wise on this fight, we have Skycer who just came back. Sekana trying to survive against Purple Jesus, though. Purple Jesus, I don't believe has recall at this moment, half HP. So one of the scariest things of playing Tracer into Juno is that torpedo. It's surprising how much damage those torpedoes do, but looking like Riddle Dog will get his way back into the game, but we'll see if they are ready. And should get an unpause.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting situation because PJ kind of has to like play his life on point, and yeah, it's so hard to in that situation.
Oh,
but Norton doesn't manage to get in with touch.
Sekon is dead though. I mean, okay, the fight is not over yet. It is up to the tanks on point, trying to brawl this out. Paradox is up, but it is the Floppas who have a support advantage here. It's really, really strong if they can take advantage of this. Their Purple Jesus has come back, but it is Shoreline that goes down. Paradox still just trying to survive as long as he can on point. Unable to find anything just yet, but Skycer with the primal, juggling Wiggle around, does take him down. Looking for Riddle Dog on that Juno, trying to chase him around, but it's going to be Rue who drills him out of the sky. And unfortunately looking like a little bit of a C9, and the Quails will take map 1.
Yeah, the Quails is just looking really nice in those final fights there. I mean, you can see the team synergy coming into play, even like when they have a ringer in Invictus. Good to see the Shoreline Pie play the game. I think this is gonna be that 2K railgun headshot that he hits somewhat here. Like, what is? Wait for it. What is that? Like, that's disgusting. Me personally.
Oh man, well that's the strength of Sojourn. I mean, Sojourn had a relatively recent change
I mean, it's been a few seasons now, I think, where the railgun at base will go through multiple targets now. So it used to just be during the ultimate, but she can now do that with just her normal railgun. So Sojourn has seen a lot of power increase, especially with the recent patch notes. The her little AOE ball now gives her charge for railgun. Like I don't know, they're cooking something, but we'll see if this transforms back to Sojourn, and we'll be back to early Overwatch 2 release where it's just Sojourn every game. But who knows?
Yeah, but we are gonna be sending it to a quick break right now. So currently the Quantico Quails up 1-0 against the Funkytown Floppas. We'll see if Riddle Dog's DC was just the start of a 3-0 or if the Funkytown Floppas still have some juice in them or their PCs. We'll be right back, everybody. And welcome back, everybody, to Aurora Esports Overwatch Clash Season number 6. We got a solid match going on so far. Quantico Quails up 1-0 over the Funkytown Floppas, and we're going to see some switches for the Quails this map. They're going to send Carry in for Rue here, and the Funkytown Floppas just keeping their same lineup. I believe they only have their 5-man here today. But Moon, what are your thoughts on that first map?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a lot of mistakes from both sides and some interesting plays. So it's as much as the Li Jiang was a 2-0, I think it's still a very close series. So it's hard to judge what we've seen so far. I mean, I think given that first map, I think the Quails are looking to carry momentum into this next into King's Row here. But King's Row is a point where I think probably the most played in any sort of scrim or match environment, and so we could be seeing some mix-ups here, but you know, only time will tell. We gotta wait for them to actually try to do something, and we are waiting to get into a lobby that isn't high ping potentially.
Ah, yes, the classic. Why did Overwatch even do that? Like, I don't even get how.
Who knows?
I don't even get how that happens. Like, from a developer standpoint. I don't know. Yeah, but
Who knows?
we get some scrims row. Very interesting. I'm wondering if they're gonna put Nort here on the like Reinhardt, maybe.
We
Just
could
try
be seeing
and
Iran.
counter. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like Skycer is just gonna like run Ram, but obviously you have those up to. Oh no, Skycer's actually gonna be on the Winston here, and Invictus on Tracer, and Cray is on the Sojourn. So a bit of lore about this team. I'm not sure how much it impacts it. Usually Rue is in when they're going Brawl, and Cray is in when they're going more like a dive style. But because Invictus is ringing, I think that's gonna obviously have some impacts on what the DPS can run and would run and should run. We're also going to see Nort over onto the JQ. I kind of like that better into the Winston. You're able to kind of get Knife in Winston, keep them in check a bit more. And we get to see the classic PJ versus Invictus battle, Unk v Unk on the Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how those two develop these angles here. It's going to be interesting to see the Winston on the defense, though. Staged top right high ground is where he's looking to jump from. But he's going to be going in, trying to get Shoreline. Shoreline does slide away, and Skycer just getting as much damage as he can. Jumps back up to high ground, forces Purple Jesus off of it, though. And actually kind of running down Shoreline. Shoreline, though, able to survive. Sekana, although, almost goes down. But so far, nothing is of yet. A lot of HP being traded, but the nade comes out as Nort Logic is forced to back away from this. But Paradox almost died by running through the Sojourn bubble. But unfortunately, it is going to be Unk Victus who goes down first. But Skycer is going to be able to trade him out so far. Picks up 2 kills as the backline does fall. Not over just yet. Shoreline does find the kill on Cray. Oh, Nort Logic though gets naded. Has to force the shout and just trying to wrap through Hotel, but not really able to do anything though. Paradox though, unfortunately, forced out by both the DPS and will go down, unable to hold on to that high ground. Maybe just stayed there a little too long, but that is going to be the Floppas with the first point opened up for him.
Yeah, if the Quails want to make this work, they have to go pretty aggressive here. You're playing the Ana Juno, and there's not a lot of appeal for the entire team there as Cray just gets absolutely exploded in the moment, and now the rest of the Floppas are just pushing the aggression forward. A beautiful anti from Paradox there, and now Primal's going to be invested from Skycer. Weird thing is they're fighting off the point though, so I mean, you're able to get a bit of stall in this, but you're not going to be able to deny Cart all that much.
I mean, he is able to deny Cart enough, but again, forcing to use Primal that early is not the best outcome by any means. He might actually be going down, and he will as Shoreline Pie takes him down. Is going to pop the overclock, looking for his next one. Cray trying to back away. It's going to be a Sojourn on Sojourn, and Shoreline Pie will win that one out, but Pulse comes out, is going to be a miss. And Floppas still pushing this Cart. 4 minutes on the clock already as it gets towards the halfway point of the second point. Not looking great for the Quails on this defense, and again, not the big fan of the Winston on defense, but Asleep comes out. Nort Logic might have been finally caught out of position. Looking like he will go down as a torpedo follows. The Nano comes out. Skycer trying to find someone with this Nano Winston. But unfortunately, it's actually going to be Riddle who might go down. Yep, Riddle is not able to get out. Cray picks up the kill on Purple Jesus, but not before killing Sekana, and that will be point held for the Quails so far.
Yeah, and that was a very nice fight from the Quails. Only one ultimate, but still able to get a ton of value from it. And I really like how they're staging around this point. However, the time bank is already decently large for the Floppas, and they have a lot of ultimates. Everything but the overclock in the kitchen sink. So 3-minute time bank on point C, believers. Hold strong here. Ray finds the first pick though, and the second, and an orbital ray dropped on top of it. So this just feels like easy cleanup for the side of the Quails.
Oh, yeah, but you are going to be losing both supports though. Riddle able to find a kill onto Paradox. Actually ends up getting the next one as Cray goes down by Purple Jesus though. Skycer finally finding Riddle Dog on that high ground. Looking to clear Purple Jesus out, but Skycer unfortunately forced to pop his Primal
trying to find Shoreline on this, but looking to back away. Looks to go back in, maybe gets a little bit of a flip on them. Oh, the pulse is gonna miss. As unfortunately not the best outcome in old move, but Cray will look for the overclock, trying to find anything on this skill, but Skyster goes down. Unfortunately, Cray did get hit by the ult of Junker Queen and will go down, as that will be a point cap.
Yeah, Nora with a... it wasn't the biggest annihilation ever, or not rampage ever, but it was definitely one that like had a lot of effect on the fight, getting that double anti, and the team's target focus is just so good. And now it's forcing Skycer over onto the Ramatra, and I think that's going to be a little bit more oppressive towards the JQ. I kind of wish they had that Mei on this map, in my opinion. I think it kind of a blunder to not play it with Ruin, but we'll have to see if the swaps onto the Ramatra can do a bit more. The point's already been pushed up fairly far. But Shoreline with an early overclock, trying to catch the heads of really anybody in their way, but it's actually going to be Skyster that falls first, Sakana falls next, and it's all completely falling apart for the side of the Quails.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Shoreline Pie with that overclock. Didn't really get anything crazy out of it just yet, but just having that overclock on that high ground is just so oppressive for the defenders that it ends up forcing Skyster out of position, and they are going to be looking to recontest as we do get a Genji swap with Paradox with Nano available. Skyster looks for Nano, does find a kill on Wiggle, but Purple Jesus trying to make his way onto Sakana, trying to find her down, and does find the final blow, as eventually the defenders of the Quails will go down one by one. Paradox with the Suzu trying to salvage anything from here. Just stalls on point as long as possible, but will go down. Invictus gets his one, but gets completely deleted as in response, and that will be round one.
Yeah, and in my opinion, a fairly decisive round one. The Quails, like, I mean, they had a bit of nice stall during the second portion of the map, but other than that, it was very decisive. I do think the Ramatra swap is going to bode a lot better for them because they can control pace a bit more, and it felt like when Skyster was going in, the dives just weren't as like cohesive as what the brawl that the Floppas are trying to run. But I just have to wait and see what Skyster opts to do here. I'd love to see a bit more of a Ramatra look and try to run over that JQ.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is definitely a matter of playing dive on defense. Just feels very awkward in my opinion. So we'll see what they can do. Looking like they will opt for the Winston on a Brig, the classic dive comp, but with a kind of more double sniper DPS line instead. So we'll see how this plays out. Norton Logic though on the Diva, ready for that dive comp, and will probably prove to be very difficult for Sakana to find anything on this Ana, but we will see.
Yeah, Cray likely just going the Widow for opening pig. I expect the swap over to the Tracer or the Soj, depending on if Invictus is actually going to stick out on this Ashe. But yeah, I think Nora reading this very well, going over onto the Widow, and Cray's going to actually swap this onto the Genji, so hopefully trying to engage on towards the back line. Purple Jesus is going to be so crucial in these positions, trying to mark the off angles and guarantee that Riddle and Wiggle are just safe on the high grounds and still able to keep the rest of the team up. But as the Quails try to walk the team towards high ground, Skyster's going in for his first dive.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually going to be a sleep on a Norton Logic, trying to stall this away. Not really able to find any follow-up on that sleep though. It's going to be Norton Logic trying to zone off the team of the Quails from their Winston, but should be a high ground control so far for him. Trying to stall this guy, Norton Logic unfortunately getting booped off. But it's actually Shoreline who ends up wasting his slide. He's very deep into the back line, and they just need to figure out to turn around on this guy. And it actually, Shoreline is going to find a kill onto Sakana, but Shoreline and Purple G just go down. And it's just the Brig of Paradox left alive, trying to survive against Norton Logic, but will go down. Norton Logic does get demeched, and looking like that will be the point captured for the Quails.
Yeah, very quick point capture for the Quails. So potentially the dream of a 3-minute time bank on point C still alive. but we'll have to see because you get the hold on choke here. That's something that, oh, Purple Jesus with a really nice kill there. Just snuck up onto the high ground, manages to get him, and that's gonna actually call it go in for the side of the Funkytown Floppas. They're trying to contest this high ground. Kaiser's forced to bubble this. And, I mean, the choke is just completely in the Funkytown Floppas' control. That's something that the Quails didn't have on their defensive side of the map, but they do have a Nano. They have a Primal to break this through. The Nano's going to come in onto the Winston, and an absolute dive, and a continuous dive onto the backline. Skycer finds two, Sagan against another for their troubles, and they have no issue breaking the defenses down for the Funkytown Floppas.
Yeah, I mean, Skies are just getting so much value out of that Nano, and then it's going to follow it through with the Primal, trying to take out Neurologic. They look like they will just stagger the Baby Diva and wait for the point to kind of push away. There's no reason to take care of the Diva just yet. Baby Diva, as much as they do have a second life, not really much of a tank right now. But
I think it's the best tank.
Yeah, exactly. Baby Diva is the best tank in the game. There's going to be a Shoreline Pie that goes down. They do get the remake for Neurologic though, so they do have a chance to recontest. Little Dog though just needs to survive long enough to be able to get his Orbital out. That's usually a really, really strong hold for them. It's going to be a blade of it. So it's fine to go Higgle. And it's going to try to survive. I want to go with this rally. It's a getting the bomb off the build down as the fixes, and there will be a very clean ult fight where the Floppas are just unable to really find anything off this, and I think one thing to know right now is looking at the time bank. But let's see what they can do on third point.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what they do on third point here. Currently a nice little high ground hold here from Brittle and Shoreline. But I mean, it's so easily dived by the Winston and Genji, and it feels like Cray and Skies are just so in sync this map. And Overclock comes in for Shoreline, trying to burn down anybody, manages to catch out Skyzer even though they were dropped dangerously low themselves. And now Cray had a hinder in his face, put into a very tough spot here, has a health back, actually gonna opt to jump away from it there, and does manage to get out with his life.
Yeah, but Shoreline Pie really, really low as the Nano comes out from Skycer. He's gonna find both DPS. The rally of Higgle is not enough. He will pick up 3. That's gonna be trying to find Riddle Dog on this Juno, takes him down. Skycer pops the Primal to clean out Neurologic from this, juggle him in the corner. And that should be a very strong time bank, looking for 3 minutes, if not more. Can the Floppas recontest this? They don't have any ults to work with, though.
The Predators need 3 minutes. They deserve 3 minutes. Oh, actually a kill for Shoreline Pie, though. That shuts down the tank, and the hopes and dreams of 3 minutes may be completely crushed. Riddle, no, he's off the map. Oh, no, he's not off the map. Oh, no, Invictus just killed him there. And a bomb on the backside of point. And Neurologic, he can't do more. But he's going to explode. And the time, it's ticking down so close to 3 minutes. That was 3:02, I think, though. That was 3:02.
Yep. So they will be getting a 2:40 time bank, it looks like.
Score.
Did I read that right?
2-3. Switching sides.
Yep. All right. 2:40 on the clock for the Quails. 2 minutes, though, is going to be the attack time bank to work with for the Floppas. We'll see what these teams decide to go with. Maybe the Quails finally deciding to not force dive on defense. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I'm just looking at the chat right now. 19.1k channel points to Booney for cap, for the Quails cap all 3 points. That's crazy. Booney's just like farming in this elo.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll have to see. A very solid attack side for the Quails, and I don't know. I think Nort on the JQ definitely looked very good on the offense, but the defense, I think it looked a bit more shambles here. They're actually going to opt for the Brig Lucio, or not the Brig Lucio, the Juno Lucio style comp. So just go really, really fast. Hopefully get engagement onto Seikana, onto Invictus, and maybe try to punish them. But there's going to be an issue of, can you contest that high ground? Purple Jesus opening up on the Widow, looking for the early pick or looking to spot, but Invictus just doesn't want to give him anything of that. And PJ is going to go back over onto the Tracer. They're actually going to give up the statue position, but I don't think this is going to be easy to break at all. The angles are just so good, and the anti is so fast.
But it's going to be cleanse, and follow up from the cleanse is going to be the dynamite from Invictus. So a huge amount of damage from that. Riddle Dog, though, might be the first one to fall, and does fall. Skyser picks up a second on Shoreline, but it's going to be Nort Logic on this high ground deep in the back line of this point. Kind of all left alone, though. Might actually be staggering a bit. Gets the Mega. Purple Jesus, though, in on the fight to help him out. Nort Logic will go down. And down to about a minute left on this point. Purple Jesus gets away.
Yeah, this is a rough position to be in. You barely have... Like, I mean, you can get 2 fights, but it's going to be 2 really scrappy fights here, with Nort still walking back from point and under a minute still on the clock. And it's just this defensive setup is so hard to break. You want to put pressure onto the Ana, onto the Brig, but you're just not able to find it. The Jungle Queen doesn't have the mobility. The Tracer is not good at scaling up these high grounds. And Seikana just really just left untouched, but Willow does manage to trade Cray on a dangerous dive. Invictus gets Purple Jesus in return, so a 4v4 towards the point. Nort's trying to contest it, but he's just so low right now. His Suits is already forced out onto him, as well as the amp from Wiggle Higgle. The resources are just not there for the Funkytown Floppas, and even if Nort lands a big axe, lands a big utility, the ults are just so much in favor of the Quails.
I mean, Bob and Primal are going to be forced here, but Seikana is ready for that nano. So again, it might just be unwinnable for the Floppas as they do get a contest here, but unfortunately 2 people down. Beat comes out, nano comes out, and again, not really looking great as Wiggle Higgle trying to survive on point. Shoreline's high, last one live. Cray pops the blade, and we'll call it there as no time or no ticks have been made for the Quails, who honestly were looking so strong on attack, but unfortunately not going to be looking great. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock for the Quails, so we'll see if they can follow through against the Floppas here.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're the Floppas, you just gotta be hoping for a tie of any sort, a draw, if you can get it. And it's going to be a tough ask. It's going to be a tall ask for them. It felt like they haven't really found a composition that has worked completely throughout the entirety of this map. And it's just the bread and butter for the Quails that they're going to have to run into. It's the Invictus Ashe. It's the Cray on Genji. And Cray comboing with Skyser has just been so deadly.
Yeah, I mean... That just goes to show how strong dive can be if you actually can follow through on dives. I mean, Seikana has found a lot of like really strong nades. Not all of them having great follow-up, but the important thing isn't necessarily to be getting a kill off of every nade, but just to be putting out so much pressure that really makes it so the back line of the Floppas are almost panicking to keep their team alive. And we'll see if they can find a miracle hold and draw this one out. But up to the Quails to take their lead and extend it to 2-0, but only time will tell.
Yeah, I love the thoroughness of the Quails. Actually wanted to go clear all the way through the left side near spawn just to be fully sure that nobody's going to contest them. Speaking of contest, Kaiser tried to jump up there. Nice poach gun from Shoreline, but I don't know if Shoreline's long for this world at this rate. Had a lot of resources jumped into him after that. Anti came in, a lot of damage came through, and Skyser's just back in on the rest of the team in a mortality field, forced out, and trades either way. It's Skyser down, Shoreline down, but Skyser's gonna be the first one back into the fight. And if the Quails can manage to live through this and they go quick, they will have a serious advantage. Shaken is very close to this ultimate, but same with Riddle Dog.
Yeah, I mean, we could be seeing the window first to be really, really strong, but the important thing right now is they still have time bank to waste. There's going to be a nade coming in, but it doesn't end up landing on anything too crazy just yet. These guys are trying to whittle down the HP North Logic. Lamp gets used. And again, window does come out trying to find this, but again, the main thing that's really rough about window in this comp is you can kind of just run away from it. Skyster though drops down, Bob comes in, knocks Whittle up, and he's not able to do anything out of it. Bob finds two. D-Max North Logic. North Logic will go down. Purple Jesus left on point. And Invictus with a 3-man Bob with the D-Mac. And the Quails will pick up map 2, extending their lead and really forcing the Floppas to figure out their next strategy.
That was such a high Q bob from Invictus there. I hope this is play of the game because he sends it right through Hotel, you know, and then he's just able to farm on the other angle, and because the bob actually boops somebody in the air there, they can just like clean up towards point, and it's just stuck in this weird angle that's contesting point, it's contesting choke, and the Funkytown Floppas can't really do anything against it. And now they're going down 2-0 in this series, and they're gonna need a monumental, almost impossible comeback if they want to hang in this to get the dub.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, what map they go to next, but either way, we will be right back with a short little break. Don't go anywhere just yet. We'll see if the Floppas can pull away a reverse sweep, or if the Quails will call it a 3-0 and say goodnight. But either way, we will be right back after this short break.
And welcome back, everybody, to Week 8, the Quantico Quails versus the Funkytown Floppas. And right now, the Quails, they got solid 2-0 lead over the Floppas, and Floppas now have to hope if Circuit Royale is their saving grace, what they need to turn it around against a Quails team that's looked, I guess, nothing less than, like, flawless so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of mistakes from both sides. I mean, the Quails were really struggling on that initial defense on King's Row, but they really showed that they were able to extend the time bang, and it really didn't end up mattering in the long run. They were able to hold the get a full hold on the second attack, and so we could be seeing an interesting kind of escort map here play out with Circuit, but looking like Quails will be on the defense to start. I mean, what are you thinking? Are we seeing a widow duel? Are we seeing an Uncvictus on the Widow looking for his one, or what are we thinking?
Yeah, I'm expecting a Widow duel here as we try to find the right server. I actually VODed a game of the Floppas on this map, and they really like the Sig with a Widow, maybe a Sojourn, and just playing like a very standard poke composition. However, the Quails, they've really kind of seen both sides of this map, in my opinion. They have the ability to go with that Sigma composition, but they also have a tendency to move over to a Ramatra style or a Winston style if they realize that the team they're going against is like too oppressive on the hit scan. Now, they probably have about an equal hit scan matchup here. Invictus versus Cray, Shoreline Pie versus Purple Jesus would be extraordinarily interesting, but I think it's just the comfort of the other players on the team that will decide, I guess, stylistically what the Quails want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they're working with here, as we're actually getting more of a dive style comp. Going to be the Diva, Tracer, Genji, Juno Brig. Now, the main thing to note is there has been, if you're unaware and not caught up on the new season changes, plenty of the escort maps have been swapped around, so you can already see some changes in the terrain. So it could prove quite beneficial for this style of comp to work with. A lot more flank routes that the Tracer and Genji can take advantage of and really kind of shut down. The poke comp is looking like the play with Sigma, Widow, Hanzo, Babzen. We'll see what happens here, as thinking could be really rough on Wiggle Higgle on this end. Might even get forced off very, very soon. Genji Tracer, not the best matchup, but we'll see. Unfortunately, with Circuit, sometimes it's a matter of who gets one shot first. Skycer almost was that first person to get one shot. But again, he gets demacked.
And that's such a bad place to get demacked. Purple Jesus is already jumping up onto that. Shoreline Pie going for the chase here as well. And now he's just stuck in the back line in such a precarious position. And the thing with the composition is, like, you can sort of go in on Diva. You have that ability with a lot of the DM that you utilize, but at the same time, like, you kind of need the rest of the team to go in with you, or you need an Ana nade, or you need like a Genji dash Tracer to be in putting pressure on the off angle. Otherwise, the explosion of damage will kind of blow you up. So as you can see, now Skycer going over onto the Winston, has the bubble, it can sustain a bit more and hopefully help fight through a bit, but a nice rock there, and he just blows up again. Skycer just completely obliterated on the point.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Winston can be really strong into something like a Sigma or Widow, when you pair it into also a Hanzo and a Zen,
you get that Discord on you, unfortunately your life is not really going to be much longer for this world, as Wiggle Higgle will take out the kill on Invictus with a little bit of an interesting geometry change in the map in that corner. I haven't even seen it just yet, but Norlogic takes a nice little rock onto Prey, trying to find a kill on Tikana, does take her out as well, and looking like an amazing start for the Floppas on Circuit here.
Yeah, so far it just feels like the Quails. I mean, I feel like they're trying to come into the dive, but they aren't just like going in with a team. And now they're having to play into a lot of ultimates. Nort very close to this, grab Flux, and Purple Jesus can combo with his ultimate, or I guess any of the support ultimates here too to help stabilize. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Invictus really just has a pulse, and it looks like their team is trying to get a bit more dive with the Kiriko and the Lucio, but every time Skycer goes in, it's just a Flux, or it's just a rock in his face, a Flux to drop the back line of the Quails, and then dropped on top of it another ultimate with the Sight, comboed with the Dragon Strike there. And some big damage is going to take down Crane. At this point in time, that might be all they need, because Skycer tries to contest the point. Lone ups, Paradox does the same, immediately destroyed. and we're on point C, and it's already 5-minute time bank. It's not really looking good for the side of the Quails.
No, it is not looking great. Definitely is showing the Quails kind of out of their comfort zone, not really able to play anything well into this really strong pokey comp that we've seen with the Sigma Babzen. And these guys are looking to play for the Ramatra here. I don't know if I exactly like this pick, but it's an option to play into the Sigma. But unfortunately, Discord, such a strong ability as the Kitsune will come out. Window comes out though, and Skyser just gets completely deleted, unable to survive long into a window, unfortunately, as Floppas able to take this point all the way towards the end with 4 minutes, with maybe about one more fight left. Higgle though with the Trank. Could be interesting to see what develops with this one here.
And it's just such a tough position to be in. You have a 4-minute time bank, you're looking down. You have to really brawl through this, into this team, and you try to go in, and Purple Jesus just hits those headshots onto you. You just explode on the point. Skyser is trying to get the stability that they need to keep themselves in the fight, but right now, it's just felt like the kill feed is all completely yellow, killing teal. As the beat comes in, they're trying to save the fight, but a Flux is replied last second, and a nice Suzu from Takena to keep the Quails in. Carrie's putting down pressure on the back line. It's an even trade, 1-for-1, with the supports of the Floppas still up, but not able to hold Brittle and Nort still up in the fight. And now Wiggle Hill is trapped in a very awkward position and completely shut down.
Well, I mean, the Ram has worked so far. I mean, and as such, Nortlogic has chosen to swap over to the Reinhardt. We'll see how this one plays out. A notable change right now is because of the new season changes, Ram no longer punches through the shield, so we could be seeing how this develops between this little matchup here. Nortlogic ready for this Reinhardt, but Skyser does have the Annihilation available. Could be looking for this one. The Kitsune comes out, not exactly in the greatest spot as they're able to just back away. Wiggle Higgle popping Trank. Unfortunately, though, Shoreline Pie goes down, and Nortlogic is going in, and unfortunately is doing a little bit of hinting on Reinhardt here. But we will see how this one plays out. One ult has been used from both teams. If you're just not counting Pulse doesn't really count in this argument, honestly, it feels like. But we'll see what happens here. I guess, sorry, there were 2 ults. Also Shoreline Pie is going to be the first one to fall. Honto having the one shot available on the 250 targets, finding his first opener, looking for another one. See if the Honto duel ends up in Invictus's favor, or if it's going to be Purple Jesus.
Yeah, nice little Sonic by Purple Jesus to detect the position of both, and North's gonna try to follow up into that in a very, I guess, precarious position that they're in. And Dragon Strike plus Window to really open up this fight. Paradox is just caught off in a little bit of an awkward geometry. Skyster's gonna try to save this fight with the Annihilation, but it's not gonna be able to find anything. And on the back line, a 2-for-2 trade happens that the Floppers kind of end up winning in the short term, but in the long term, the spawn advantage is much in favor of the Quails. They're gonna be able to get back first, and Riddle was stuck inside of the slow from Skyser, put in a very precarious spot and unable to escape. Nort falls on the point too, and now it's getting dangerous for the Floppas as the time bank's gonna tick right underneath a minute.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing to note right now is Paradox and Sakana coming up on support ults is going to be really strong here. The only option that the Floppas have right now is going to be this Shatter, so it could be huge. If you can get a Shatter landed on that Lucio, that could call fight win. It's going to be the Kitsune that comes out here. The Shatter comes down. He's going to take out Skyser as Paradox not enough heat charge ready as the Dragon comes out from Invictus, trying to find someone. Shoreline Pie takes out Sakana. The Bob comes out, beat in response, but not really hit. I actually think it only hit him.
as the Bob just being a complete menace on the point. Skyster trying to find anything on this point. Unfortunately, he goes down and looking like it might finally be capped. The support's alive still, but Nort Logic on the Rhine, just swinging around, taking their HP down, and unfortunately, that will be a cap for the Floppas with about 8 seconds on the time bank.
Score.
Yeah, and they do manage to get a cap, which is good if you're a reverse sweep fan, but that time bank was just absolutely drained at the end, and I feel like the Quails have definitely found a stylistic solution. They have a lot of experience, as I said at the start of this, running a variety of comps on Circuit Royale because they tend to opt more into a brawl dive slash look. Their opponents tend to be picking poke maps against them, so I think we're seeing that experience now that we're on week 8 of Aurora come into fruition, because now they have the option. They can go really whatever comp they want to, and I think that's going to be a Ram style again. I would be a bit surprised if we see the ball, but you know, it's Year of the Ball, so you never know.
Well, we could be seeing an interesting choice with Skyster on Ball. Ball, not the most popular tank to say by any means, but he has seen some success in more recent months, especially a few teams and even OWCS finding success on Ball. So we'll see what Skyster can do. Going to be having a very interesting team comp so far, and just trying to maybe catch the Floppas off guard more than anything, but we'll see how this plans out.
For sure, and they're actually going to opt to stick with the ball. The slam is going to be kind of his time there. Oh my god, the rock.
He's dead already.
Dude, that rock by Nort was crazy.
Well, folks, that is exactly what happens with tanks against Zen, especially something like Ball. I feel like something that isn't talked about enough is how strong Zen feels into Ball. As much as Ball can do a lot of damage into Zen and dive Zen, if you can get the Discord on Ball, it just does so much. And we might actually almost see him get one shot again, but Invictus in there with the Far, just getting so much damage on this high ground. But a little bit lost as he will go down to Shoreline Pie. Skyster picks up a kill on Viddle, trying to play his life, try to find one more. Cray goes down. But still, point pressure, and Skyster in the backline looking to go in on this. But another crazy rock by Nort Logic, who has just been so strong on the Sigma so far on this map. It's just crazy how much he's been able to do.
And Skyster's just in this like really precarious spot between the entirety of the Funkytown Floppas backline. They did manage to make the space take the rest of the team off high ground, but it doesn't really matter when you don't have the tank to really step the rest of your team up to that position. They're just gonna walk back up on stairs, retake that long angle that they've been so oppressive from. You can see Invictus already making the swap over to Hanzo, wants to try to duel back against Shoreline and against PJ.
And we will be seeing a Sigma swap for Skyster, so not surprised here. Ball not exactly the best on circuit, a little bit too open of a map, but a rock hits and no follow-up to be found just yet. The infrared sights of Shoreline Pie is going to come out looking to really put some pressure on this team. Playing off of this long sightline off of Statue, could be finding an interesting kill here. But again, still dangerous for the Widow to just free peek. The sights have gone down, but Purple Jesus with the Dragon Strike, trying to find someone off of it. Skyster gets taken out, and will be some interesting fights so far. Just one ult, or two ults from Floppas used, but Nort Logic's actually going to go down. Maybe went a little too far for their team's liking, but two support ults ready. The Flux is also in hand, but Nort Logic not going to be beating Skyster back to the point. So this could be really strong for the Quails. This could be their opportunity to carry this point around the corner. But main thing to note is this ult economy is looking great for the Floppas. The Kitsune comes out from Sekana, trying to play off of this one. Window comes out, and it is Paradox who gets one shot. Skyster trying to find something with this Flux to screw up the window, but Trank does get used.
Logic still with the Flux in hand, ticking down. As 45 seconds left on the clock. We'll see which ult comes out first. Invictus takes the first pick here. Trying to find anything with it. Wiggle does find a pick onto Sikana, so this could be crazy if they can find anything with this blade. Cray takes Riddle Dog out, and it's not going to matter that they lost their Flux before. Paradox is enough, and Cray will clean up the fight, and point cap has been made.
And Invictus with a nice little kill there at the end to kind of rub some salt in the wound. Tell the Funkytown Floppas that Quails, they're still here to play. They still got a chance here on Circuit Royale. And even though the time bank is nowhere near as good as it looked for the Floppas on their attack, it feels like they've managed to get some momentum with this composition. They're able to speed the Sigma up to these chokes and immediately back him down. And even looking down these, I guess, long, dangerous sight lines, they're able to take awkward angles and play within them and now beat into the backline of the team. But it's going to be a Flux that's kind of perfectly timed against that beat. Meanwhile, trades exchanged on both sides, but definitely in favor of the Floppas, and they're just going to clean up house on point.
Yeah, I mean, a really good Flux finding 3 there. Paradox, not really the best beat to work with. I mean, I saw the vision trying to get an aggressive beat that have good cart progress to work with, and they do have the Impresites, but unfortunately, Invictus is going to be taken out by Shoreline Pie, so the Impresite is not up just yet. But main thing to note that's interesting, Sikana is going to swap back to the BAP. I was confused on why they would be running the Zen Larry, but it's a possibility. I just need to make their way through. Infrared sights come out. Could be looking like a Flux play from Skyser. Those guys are trying to force North Logic out. Hits the rock, but it's going to be Lamp that saves them. Both grass get traded here. The window comes out. Skyser trying to play his time. Sikana is actually going to go down. Riddle Dog might fall. Riddle Dog's going to fall as the Flux takes him out. And Purple Jesus, though, gets a pick on a Cray. That's going to be Invictus, who trades out for Shoreline Pie. And again, still in a little bit of a 3v3 situation here. Purple Jesus with the Dragon Strike. Not really going to find anything on it just yet, but only Zen heals for the Quails. Could be interesting. Invictus actually gets a grapple shot on a Wiggle. North Logic goes down as the rock from Skyser hits him. Purple Jesus not able to survive much longer, as Skyser going to be holding this corner, and it looking like they will get this point cap and continue this on to pushing down 3rd point.
Yeah, and it's definitely a very winnable situation for the Quails here, as they do manage to make it to that 3rd point. Nort does have to back up here, and PJ is going to find a nice little early pick that may give Nort the opportunity to go forward. The issue is now Cray on this Sojourn is able to put a lot of damage into the shield and really just pump it down, but Shoreline says, okay, let's pump the brakes, Sikana, as they shut down the Quails offense to the point. Invictus does get one for their troubles, but I think the real danger is that Nort is able to hold onto this part of the map, and they still have both supports up sustaining them, so they're gonna have to really fight if they want to send it all the way to 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see which ult comes out first. North Logic does have the Flux ready for it. Both rocks have been used, so either of them just trying to fight in this hallway. North Logic's the first one to fall, though. This is going to be really, really strong for the Quails. Rock comes out from Skyser trying to find something on this push, but again, just not any kills to be found after North Logic goes down. Again, 3 ults from the side of the Quails. Could be looking interesting so far. Only the Flux and Trank, but Riddle Dog really close to window, so should have it quite soon. Let's see who decides to go with their ult first. It's gonna be the ult of Sikana that goes first. Fluxus gets traded, Tranks get traded. It's gonna be 3 ults for 3 ults so far. Just a little bit of a dogfight as both windows have been popped. Dragon goes out, but it's gonna be Sikana who's stuck in the Dragon. Cray does go down as well. Purple Jesus takes him out. And Invictus trying to find something, but unfortunately Shoreline will get a grapple shot on him. And 3 ults for 3 ults has not played out in the favor of the Quails by any means, with Cray having the only ult available on the board.
Yeah, I feel like 4 ults for 4 ults, with Invictus falling first in that fight. it's kind of diminishes the chance of even a real solid contest towards the point. SkySearch gets there with his body just falling to the wayside on the point, and it looks like the Funkytown Floppas, they got some life in them, chat, as they're gonna bring it up to a 1-2 series with this map win.
Yeah, I mean, definitely seems like they found the map pick that's really thrown off the momentum and of that dive comp that we've seen so successful so far for the Quails. So Floppas with a really great map pick, but unfortunately they'll be going to the map pick of the Quails. So it could be a very strong dive focused map here. We've seen escort and escort and hybrid already, so maybe we'll see a Suravasa, who knows, maybe even some push dive maps. So either way, we'll be right back with a short little break as they figure out which map is next.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Esports Clash Season number 6, week number 8, and we may have a map on, or we may have a match on our hands here as the Funkytown Floppas looking to equalize the scoreline against the Quantico Quails here. They managed to pick up Circuit Royale, which seemed to be their map of choice throughout this season, but we'll have to see if they can really bring the thunder on at Suravasa, a map that the Quails have looked very good on throughout this season, and it's for the kind of the exact same reason. They're able to stylistically approach it with their brawl look. They're able to stylistically approach it with their dive look, and both looks very, very dangerous. A very, very, I guess, tough challenge for Riddle Dogging crew to tackle.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it almost felt like the circuit is one of those maps that kind of just threw off the Quails in terms of just how they wanted to play. I mean, they tried to force the dive early on. It just did not work well. Circuit not the best dive map currently, but we'll see how this plays out on the Saravasa. A little bit more open, might be more the speed of the DPS for the Quails as well, but it is Quails map pick, so we'll see what they look for here. Going to be the Ram with Mei, so we've already seen this be really strong on map 1, especially against the Junker Queen of Nort Logic, so we could be seeing a repeat, but I don't want to speak too soon as there's so many things that can go wrong and go right for either team here. As we will find first contact. The Reaper TP though, he goes down. He doesn't even get a chance to use Wraith, and Shoreline Kai is going to be the first one to fall with, oh my god, just unable to make anything happen there. Nort Logic uses Shout, but unfortunately is not enough to make a difference. Wiggle Higgle will go down. Not yet, gets the Mega. Okay, Wiggle Higgle is going to survive for now. But fight 1 already for the Quails.
Yeah, and it feels like, I don't know, the approach of the Floppas there, it felt like they were just running into a brick wall. Like, literally just like slamming their face against the brick wall and say, oh, can I TP into this? Oh, no. Can I run into this if I use Shout? Oh, definitely not, you know? And that's the power of the Mei, of the Ramashra. They're able to just be so oppressive towards the point that if you're not running as a 5-man team, like they are right now, you're not going to be able to survive more than 2 seconds, and you might not just be able to survive in general, as a nice wall really forced out good position. A really nice knife from North, though, that tried to pull in Rue, but not really able to find anything on the point, and now a wall called in to help stabilize the team. Purple Jesus is now able to put in a little bit of that backline pressure, but you gotta be really careful. Wiggle Higgle already goes down to that slow orb on point, and now Skycer just punching his way in. Escape routes completely blocked off, completely suffocated, and now PJ is gonna be lucky if he gets out with his life. Oh, wait, he's gonna get 3 though.
Yeah, I mean, he kills 3. It's not looking like it's really gonna matter. Skycer and Brew both have their ultimates available, so we could just see Annihilation to close this out. Purple just gets a touch, but will go down. Wiggle Higgle gets walled off from the point. So, point capture 1 for the Quails, looking to carry this in the next point with a very, very strong ult bank to work with. So we'll see how this will play out. Both Juno ults will be on the board, so we could be seeing a Juno ult mirror. The main thing to note right now in this situation is Nort Logic with the Junker Queen ult could be very strong into this mirror, but Paradox does have Rally in play.
Yeah, and Skycer's actually caught a split a bit on the rest of the team, and now they're just looking to jump down on the back line. They're trying to go in with this orbital array forced by Sayconic here, trying to put pressure onto the point, but it's going to be a return orbital array and a big ult from Nort Logic there, but kills in favor of the Quails so far on the point. Now PJ in a very deadly spot, absolutely just completely suffocated. Nort gets headshot and taken out, and even though the fight looked a bit scrappy, lots of ults exchange, it's fairly quick cleanup for the Quails.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 2 ults for 3 in the side of the Quails here, using the overclock a little bit later, but to clean out the fight, and so they will start on the point. It's going to be really strong for them. The only ult for the Floppas to really work with right now is Rally, but you have the Rally Mirror as well as Annihilation for the Quails, so ult economy-wise, really, really looking strong, but unfortunately, Nort Logic with that Rampage is just not able to find enough, as much as he got his huge anti-off, but it's going to be a big rotation here as the Floppas will look to play close. Skycer, though, could get knocked off the map here. Plays for the Annihilation, but not really the best ultimate into this just yet. Is able to probably find the kill on the Purple Jesus, who goes down. The Ice Block not going to last long enough. Through very, very low. Gets Ice Block to survive, but Skycer actually goes down to Nort Logic. The point still ticking for the Quails, and only 2 people left for the Floppas, looking not the greatest so far. 2 caps for the start of Saravasa, looking like this map pick has turned to be really strong for the Quails, and we'll see how the Floppas respond.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like the Reinhardt more in this situation because, like, Purple G just hit such a fat wall on to Skycer there when he was using the Annihilation, but then the team just, like, really wasn't behind it, you know? Nort was on point trying to fight it with JQ, trying to engage on the back line, while you have Wiggle and PJ trying to, like, take on Skycer through that Annihilation. So I think the Reinhardt will really help to unify the team, and with those new changes, Skycer's gonna have a bit more trouble actually damaging through the shield, through sort of the oppressive defense that Reinhardt can provide.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be Purple G's with the Blizzard, and it will be a mirrored Blizzard from Rue to kind of just cancel us out. No one is going to die from this one just yet. Nor Logic, though, gets himself in, but it's going to be the Orbital Brittle Dog, and they should be able to clean out this fight as okay, Orbital's all the way through. Tikana does pop their own Orbital as well, and it's going to be left of Riddle, or Nor Logic, who's the last one alive, and the better Juno ultimate has been found, as Quails will be the ones to start capturing this point.
Yeah, very expensive fight for the Quails, but definitely worth it. I love the ult they're using in response. The Blizzard to cancel out the other Blizzard, and then the moment that they get a little bit of an advantage, they immediately say, we're going to send in our Overclock. We're going to send in our Orbital Ray to counter out the Orbital Ray of Brittle Dog. So even though there's an ult advantage here, a tiny bit, you still have to deal with the Annihilation of Skycer. The ult from Paradox as well. It's still such a precarious spot to be in. Nor's looking for the Shatter. He's gonna actually not find anybody, I think. Misses completely, and Skycer's still hanging on the high ground here. Gonna go in on half HP. The Annihilation is gonna do more than enough. Support line decimated. Nort decimated. It feels like the entire team of the Floppas are just falling to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Nort Logic with the Rhine is unable to find anything with that Shatter, and not hitting a single person with that. It just really hurts your ult economy wise, and it's going to be the last 90% left on this point. Paradox, though, with Rally could be really strong at this point. Shoreline Pie with Overclock, as you do have Nort Logic touching with Ball. We should be seeing the Overclock here soon, but they just need to stall this point as long as possible. Paradox pops the Rally, playing off this point, looking to force Nort Logic off this. Seikana finds a kill on a Purple Jesus already. Shoreline not able to find anything just yet. Finds a kill on Seikana, but unfortunately has to run into Invictus, who he ends up actually finding a kill on. And it could be Shoreline Pie carrying this fight for them. Find maybe a third. Ice Block goes out. Not able to find the third just yet. Rue has the Blizzard, pops the Blizzard out. Wiggle is going to be caught out with this one. Nort Logic as well, just surviving as long as possible on point, but it's actually looking great for the Floppas. The last one alive is Skycer, and he will fall as 99% is the percentage so far, but has been flipped, and Invictus does fall in an unfortunate stagger.
Yeah, that stagger is gonna cost a lot of time, I guess, because before the fight ended, they still had it at 99%. No flip came in between, so the percent that the Floppers are getting now is just new percent that just came up. So staggering Invictus gives them a bit more time, at least, to hold off the oppression. But Nort gonna drop the mines, try to split off this room, allow PJ to cook, but no, he's gonna get shut down, tapped out by Rue. And now a very dangerous, precarious position to be in. You have Skycer and Co walking up on this high ground, forcing out the backline of the Floppas here. North's trying to make this contest happen. It actually gets a sizable amount of damage down, but the kills are all going in favor of the Quails here. And even though an orbital raise dropped, they're not able to find anything through it. Annihilation, now Overclock as well, doing so much against them, and Invictus just staying alive through it as well as the rest of the team. The kills are just too good, and Nort just unable to find anything. The time is gonna tick out, and the Quails are gonna take this one home 3-1 over the Floppas.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Servasa was the map pick for the Quails, and they definitely played what they wanted to play. So I think my suspicion was correct with Circuit Royale being kind of a throwaway map for the Quails here. Definitely just played more to the strength of the Floppas. Unfortunately, the meta just not favoring them great right now in this matchup, as the 3-1 is looking great for the Quails. And I mean, who are we thinking for MVP tonight? I think my vote goes for Skycer.
I think we just seen so much out of him, especially on those early maps on the Winston. Just had so much value. Definitely fell a little short at the start of Circuit, but I mean, what do you think? What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it to Skyzer too. I mean, he's the only one left here in the game, so I think it's more than fitting, more than willing to give it to the team captain himself. So we'll see if we can get them in here, or we may have to move chats to grab them. I'm not sure.
That's a good question. I would imagine one of the admins should be able to drag him down here. Maybe if I ping Panini. I'm unsure if he has access to the chat. So we'll try to get him in here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we get to hear from Skyzer. Hopefully.
I hope so. None of us have the ability to drag him down here and kidnap him.
Does he have a... Hang on, I'm going on a mission.
Okay. Oh. Well, we should be able to try to get Skycer in here in a minute or so before we disappear for the night. I want to say...
Oh, we got him. We got him.
There he is. Okay.
Uh-oh.
How's it going, Skycer?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How you feeling? I mean, I think we've decided to pick you for MVP. I think those initial maps on the Winston just showed so much. I think the primal value you're able to get on the backline of the Floppas was great. But what were your thoughts in this game series as a whole?
Don't like Circuit. I
Don't like
suck at that
Circuit.
map.
I think I could see that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were doubters after Circuit, but then we became believers on Servasa. Okay, we became believers.
No, I was always a Quails believer. I knew it was an off map. It was the Floppas map pick, and Skycer just unable to play a dive tank into that at all.
Yeah, I am a rock magnet. That is what I have learned. Either I was just getting hit by every rock. Like the only way you can play dive into poke on that map is to not get hit by the rock and then get discorded and die. And I was getting hit by the rock. So
Yeah, maybe one too many times.
Yeah,
But-
there was that one time he predicted me when I like went over the top on first point
Yeah,
attack.
I saw
And
that.
he just
That was-
predict rocked me, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Dude,
saw
like
one
Ball is
shot.
supposed to have like 900 HP, and it felt like you had like maybe 3 HP when you like slid over the top, and you didn't
Oh.
even hit ground.
That's the Zen Discord orb for you. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the map win. Talk to me a little bit about that series. I mean, what went well, what went poorly?
It was pretty alright. I was a little nervous going in because we were down Elko. This is the first time I think we haven't had a scrim without Elko before, so I was a little nervous, but it was alright. Yeah, it took us a second to get into a groove, but then we were figuring it out. We were just kind of like trying to sync up whatever everyone. I mean, it's what we do every map. We try and whatever everyone's doing, try and do the same thing. You know, like say like, oh, I'm gonna dynamite here. Okay, I can go. Blah 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 blah. Just asking people stuff. And yeah.
Nice work. Now, we've picked you for MVP, but if there's someone else on your team that you would have chosen MVP, who do you think it would have gone to and why?
I'm gonna do bad, and I'm gonna pick the ringer, Mr. Invictus. He had big shoes to fill. Ian Elko.
Ooh, don't pick the ringer. Boo. Invictus
Yeah,
smells. Tell him I said that.
But he had big shoes to fill on filling for Elko, as he like does a lot of calming too. So Invictus Phil does really well, played really well, shot a bunch of people, did the hit scan thing, you know, killing people. That's what you do. And yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that the Mankato DPS is doing great as a ringer here. But it has been a great series and honestly a great day for some Overwatch. We had about 3 games. I know 2 of them were streamed. I don't know about all 3 were okay. Yeah, so some great games today. So hope everyone had some fun. But I believe that is the final games for week 8. So thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Mooncasting with War. Been a great time so far, and we'll see you guys around.